me down, but my voice will still be heard. It's mind over matter. Tired of my words being slurred. Shaken, shaken but not deterred. Can't get in my head things you say I dread. Can't get in my head things you say I dread. Still gonna walk tall. You will not make me fall. But not deterred. You can try to shake me down, but my voice will still be heard. I'm rising above the chatter. No, my vision won't be blurred. Shaking, shaking but not deterred. Shaking, shaking but not deterred.
Oh, beautiful. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. Peter V and the Blues Train, shaken but not deterred. The title track was brand new, awesome CD, and my pleasure. Peter is on the horn with us. Happy good morning, Peter. Welcome to the Humagoo Show.
Hey, Tom, glad to be here again. How are you doing?
Super, thanks again. And you have a big show coming up today in New Hope, Pennsylvania, and we wanted to preview a little bit about that and catch up with everything that's going on for you, my friend.
Yeah. So we got our last show of the season in New Hope, PA. I live in PA, so it's about 20 minutes from where I live, and the band's coming in from New Jersey and from New York. We're going to hit the stage at 3 o'clock from 3 to 6, and we're very excited. We expect to do a good crowd, and we're going to have a fun time, and we're going to do our Christmas song as well. That has gotten a lot of really good feedback and all that stuff.
And the brand new CD that you got just released now, Shaken Not Deterred, that's been hitting the charts, and that's a great title track, and we're going to preview a lot of those tunes going on. Tell us about how that came to be and everything that's happening with the energy on that for us tonight.
Well, the title track, it's a variation on the theme. It's shaken but not stirred. Mm-hmm. So, I took a James Bond quote and made it work into what, life experiences. A lot of people shout it out of you, and you just gotta not get sucked in and get caught up with it. And that's kind of our attitude musically too. And we had a CD that we released earlier this year, and it did really well. And I had plenty of music left over, and we were really starting to record some of that music as that previous Running Out of Time CD was released. And with the help of Betsy Brown from Blind Raccoon, doing our publicity and getting it out to all the DJs all across the world and America. And so this particular CD, it's got music, 9 original songs written by me and lyrics by Joanne Cecilio on some of them. I wrote some of the lyrics, and we did 4 cover tunes, and we try to do a reinterpretation of the cover songs like T-Bone Shuffle and For All We Know. We try to do different variations of it and just make it our own, even though it is a previously recorded cover song. And the original tracks are all inspired by different events. And but Memphis is the opening track, and we like the energy of Memphis. We think when people hear it, it kind of grabs you, takes you in, and the people seem interested in listening to the rest of the CD, or at least continuing to listen to it. So,
yeah, that tune, and then the one that I really love too is Rodeo No BS. I'm going to play that after we get done, and By the River too. Yeah. Those 2 grabbed me right off the bat here in the CDs.
Yeah, we like By the River too. By the River is actually about the time we were playing to New Hope, so it was our experience going to New Hope for the first time, and the good times we had there. So that's what that song's about, musically and rhythmically, and lyrically. I mean, and that song was actually written really quick. Probably wrote it in about 20 minutes, and that's how most of the good songs come out. They just flow. When you start working on something too much, you're better off just walking away from it and maybe revisiting it or just letting it go. But the good music just seems to flow out. Good music from my interpretation anyway. So.
Yeah, and I love your band. The guys you got in the band that support you and surround you, because you're on the guitar and the lead vocals, but your sax and all that good band. Tell us a little about all those guys in the fine Peter V and Blues Train.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, obviously the band is very key and instrumental in the sound that we create. And the drummer, bass player, keyboard player, the drummer Alex Diagnos, bass player Sean Graverson, and keyboard player Aaron Cornish Lewis. Those 2 guys have been with me since 2013 when we formulated this band. We've done 4 CDs since then, and then we're fortunate to have very talented musicians sit in with us. Danny Walsh, our sax player, is kind of like the 5th member of the band. Mm-hmm. Even though he does other stuff, he's a jazz player as well, and he's a terrific killer jazz player. But he's usually gigging with us on all the gigs, and he's going to be there today. And he's so great. He inspires us and takes us up a few notches, and we like having him around. So he's really been big in creating the sound that we're trying to create, because we're not just trying to be pure blues. We're not trying to recreate what's already been done and rehash stuff. We're trying to forge ahead with a new sound. We infuse some funk, some jazz, and some soulful stuff into it. And then in the studio, we've had other fine musicians sit in as well. Got Bob Del Rosso, a keyboard player, Jeff Levine, who's kind of a legend. He's played with a lot of guys. He ran Joe Cocker's bands, played with Hall & Oates, and a lot of people. The list goes on. And so has Danny Walsh as well. He's played with a ton of people. Chaka Khan, Greg Orman, and all that. So.
Yeah, Peter, and what I've noticed about your band and your tracks, you have a real catch right off the bat. You have the drummer, boom, and that's what hooks the tune, like you were saying, the Memphis song that people get into to your new CD. And that's what I think about your tracks. Especially I'm looking for songs that enlighten my show a little bit that they want to catch and hear. And that's why brought me your way, through Blind Rock and Betsy Brown.
I thank you for that. I think, the drummer brings a lot of energy. He's kind of like the engine for the band. Yeah. And him and the bass player really rock it, and they create a good groove. And we try to avoid doing the cliche stuff that most people do musically. We just try to take a different approach. And I know sometimes I get feedback that we're not authentic blues, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to, I'm never. If you're going to do B.B. King and Albert King and all that stuff, you're not going to be as good as the original guys. So you might as well take it a slightly different direction. You can pay homage to these guys, but you have to do your own thing and infuse your own sound. And I really think this band is, firing on all cylinders. I think the vocals are good, the original music content is good, the cover music is good, and the musicianship is very good. And we have a certain sound that's very distinct when you hear us, and I think that's very important, And there's a lot of great bands out there, and they're all doing their thing. We just want to do our thing and have a good time doing it.
And it comes across that way, too, especially with your title track, Running Out of Time. Now, I get the pleasure, a lot of these songs I hear the first time through Betsy when I'm playing this in my show. It was awesome. Just the whole concept of that song. Tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
Which song was that? I'm sorry, Running Out of Time?
Running Out of Time, the title track from your other CD.
Yeah.
It's
well, I think that's an experience a lot of couples can relate to. We used to kiss, and I always do is piss me off. So, I think a lot of couples go through stages where whether they stay together or ultimately break apart. You go through that stage where in the beginning there's this intensity, this romantic fantasy, and then some of that tapers off, and the real life stuff kicks in, and so. I think the lyrics that Joanne wrote on that were spot on and kind of clever, tongue-in-cheek type of stuff. So,
yeah, you can't help but not get caught into that song, just the way it's presented and that right off the bat. And
we sing. I sing it with some angst because it's kind of based on some life experience. So, you got to have emotion behind what you're delivering vocally. So. But I have to be honest, I'm very fortunate to have stumbled. I stopped playing music for 25 years. I reconnected with music about 10 years ago, and I got formulated this band. And I really, these group of guys that I'm working with, the energy and chemistry is very good between us. We're all a little different, but we all kind of see eye to eye musically and personally as well. And the place where we record is a place called Surefire Recording Studio in Lumberton, New Jersey. Joseph DeMeo, who's the recording engineer and the owner-operator of that establishment, he's very good at capturing the sound that we're trying to create. So he's got to give a shout-out as well. Without him, this wouldn't be happening the way it's happening right now. So I have to give him a lot of credit. I have to give Betsy a lot of credit. I have to give all the DJs, you included, throughout America and, different parts of the world in Europe, etc. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I was going to say, what an impressive studio, too, because you also have some very cool videos. Now, Peter V. and the Blues Train. Peter is my guest right now on the Hoomagoo Sunday morning preview show because he's got a show right now on New Hope, Pennsylvania this afternoon at Fran's Pub, I believe, is the place, correct?
Yes, that's correct, my friend.
Yep, we're just doing some chatting tonight about it, or this morning about his jams and all that good stuff. Running Out of Time was his previous CD, and Shaken But Not Deterred. So thanks again, my friend. But let's talk a little bit about your event today. I know you get going, you're kind of on hold, but you need to get there, and all that technical logistics stuff. Right. As I was telling you, my computer was rebooting. Never reboot a computer or update before you have to do a show, because it was locked up, and I was like, oh my, thank you God, we are here.
That's scary.
It was.
That's scary for sure.
It was. So I know how things got to go. But again, we're having a fabulous chat this morning again. And Peter, tell us again about the show. What's happening at Fran this afternoon?
Yeah, so we got a show today at Fran's Pub in New Hope, PA. It's actually like maybe 200 feet from the Delaware River. It's a really nice spot. And it's a real cool holiday town as well. And we're expecting a nice crowd. It's a little raining right now, but it's unusually warm outside, so unusually warm, I'm sorry. And we're just going to have a really good blocking time.